Breaking news out of the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks have made a deal and signing Pacers free agent. This is a shocker. And Myles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million deal per ESPN. Turner spent his 10 years, of course, the longest 10-year Pacer after this one, but just lost in the NBA Finals to OKC Thunder in Game 7. We saw that. But the Pacers will be without their point guard and Tyrese Halliburton next season because of that torn Achilles we saw in Game 6. That injury possibly left the club less prone to re-signing Turner. So you're wondering where the Bucks got all this money and how they made this deal? Well, here it is. Staying in Milwaukee, the Bucks are waiving Damian Lillard to clear up the space to sign the top free agent in Turner. That's according to multiple reports. The Bucks will stretch out that $113 million left on Lillard's deal over the next 5 seasons to clear some space for Turner, the former Pacers big man who is getting a 4-year deal, as I mentioned. Lillard, of course, torn that Achilles in the first round of the playoffs against Indiana. So many questions and hopefully some answers here. Brad Botkin in studio with me, and then Coach Avery Johnson as well. And let's start here with the shocker when it comes to Myles Turner. I'll start with you, Brad. Nobody saw this coming. We all thought he was going back to Indiana based on what they did. Your reaction to this?
Well, I gave a seed of this possibility yesterday on HQ. I got called crazy. The Halliburton injury changed the equation. There's no question about it. Now, you could say it's short-sighted, but the Pacers did not want to go into attacks. Basically, they're saying we don't have a chance next year. And after that, maybe Turner's getting up there in age. It's funny because Turner's been central casting in damn near every trade rumor in the league for the past half-decade. Now he walks for nothing from Indiana. They don't do a sign-and-trade. They don't get anything back for him. On the Bucks side, this is, it's interesting. They have done a series of increasingly desperate moves to placate Giannis. So first they made the Drew Holiday trade, which was a sound trade, but they gave up a ton for him, got a lot in return, won a championship. Got a little bit more desperate with the trade for Dame himself to keep Giannis happy. And now it's like Dame's hurt, he's out, our team's going in the tank. We're going to do the most desperate thing ever, and we're going to waive Damian Lillard to bring in Myles Turner. Let's be honest about this. Myles Turner was the #1 player on my free agent list, but that speaks more to the thin class that this is. Then Myles Turner's a good player, don't get me wrong. Just helped the Pacers get to within 1 game of a championship, stretch shooter, rim protector, all these things. But he's basically a little bit better Brook Lopez. So it's not like the Bucks went out and got Jokic, But what they did do is sign up to pay Damian Lillard $22.5 million for each of the next 5 years. In this second apron era where every team is pinching every penny, you're now paying a guy $22.5 million every year for 5 years that's not even on your team. So how are you going to build? This could be crippling, like crippling in the next 3 to 4 years for the Bucks. But they're putting all their energy toward keeping Giannis happy. There's now some rumblings out there that maybe Giannis isn't even happy that Lillard was the one that was the casualty of bringing Turner in. But look, there's a lot going on here, but the bottom line is Milwaukee is clearly super, super desperate to keep Giannis happy, and they did not have many levers to pull, so they pulled a very, very desperate one.
Houston, we do not have a problem. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I could see him in a Houston Rockets uniform like tomorrow because this move is not going to make Giannis happy in any way. And Brad was right on yesterday. He said this was a possibility that Myles Turner couldn't move on. And again, when you're an unrestricted free agent, anything is possible. I thought Indiana was going to do everything in their power to retain Myles Turner. I was wrong. But Myles Turner at this stage of his career, partnering and playing alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo to try to win the Eastern Conference, I don't think this is anything that's going to make Giannis happy. And then you're going to pay a guy $22 million not to play. This is I don't even have a word for it. Maybe Brad can help me with a word because
Coach, it's desperate, and I'll tell you who Damian Lillard needs to get in touch with. Bobby Bonilla, who was getting paid by the Mets.
This is a mini Bobby Bonilla
for a quarter century.
On Bobby Bonilla Day.
Baseball. Bobby Bonilla Day. So for the next 5 years, it's going to be happy Dame Lillard Day in Milwaukee, and they are going to have, if they were strapped financially to go support Giannis before this, they got no chance now.
Yeah.
They got no chance, and Coach is right. Myles Turner does not move the needle like this. Look, this guy, and we can't have so much recency bias that we think this is like a huge deal because they just went to the finals. He was in the spotlight. He played well. I mean, look, this is still Myles Turner. This is a guy, listen, Indiana would have traded him at certain points for the right package over the last 5 years. No one was willing to give that package. So let's talk about honest value around the league. Look at, when they got Drew Holiday, perfect pickup, won a championship. Dame, there was some questions defensively when they lost Holiday. They were flipping to an offensive team, but it's still Damian Lillard. This is Myles Turner. And what does this say about the state of the Eastern Conference, that these teams think that they can add a non-all-star player and tell themselves, we can win it? We got to do something about the conferences, man. They're so bad that the Magic think they can add Desmond Bane, and the Bucks think they can add Myles Turner. These guys aren't even all-stars. Like, hey, we're good. We're going to the title. I mean, that's how bad the Eastern Conference is right now.
Coach, go ahead.
But another thought with all of this, if they can ever find a coach, if you're the New York Knicks right now, you know, you're sitting pretty good if you can find the right coach, because Boston is not the same team. Right? Jason Tatum is out basically for the season.
Pacers are done.
You look at Halliburton, and now, you know, Dame obviously was out, and Giannis is probably going to move on. So if you're looking at it, if Philadelphia can ever get healthy, if they can ever get healthy, those two teams right now, the prognosis of them really taking a step forward, they're sitting pretty good.
And Coach, what's important is Cleveland, they're seeing this opportunity. They're blowing right past the second apron. Like, we got a chance here. They went and got Lonzo Ball. They're not getting rid of anybody. They're paying the tax. They're into the second apron because they know, to Coach's point, if they're going to win, it's right now. The East is completely wide open.
So what I'm hearing from both of you guys, because upstairs when this happened, the whole deal of Myles Turner, 4 years, $107 million. We have a few Bucks fans up there, happy, elated. But it seems like between the two of you, this is a train wreck in terms of signing Myles Turner. I understand the logic behind it, but it just seems like this is a first-way ticket to get Giannis out of Milwaukee. Coaches, you already said Houston.
Yes, I'm thinking Houston. And you know what?
Oh, my God.
When CBS Sports HQ called me to come on and just, I was thinking we were going to talk about Shea's extension, not Myles Turner and Damian Lillard.
You know what, Coach, think about this. Let's say that your hypothesis comes to fruition here and Giannis bails. Let's send him to the Warriors just for my sake. But let's say he bails on Milwaukee, okay? Imagine being the Bucks where you just signed up for Myles Turner for 4 years and $100 million. You're paying Damian Lillard $100 million. He doesn't even play for you. And now you don't even have Giannis. Imagine, I mean, if that happens, burn the Bucks down. If that happens, burn the Bucks down. You
know what? We should just change the lower Bucks burning down. Obviously, Myles Turner is not the focal point of this segment. Brad Botkin, Avery Johnson. Look, keep that same passion because we have a 12 o'clock show. Appreciate your time when it comes to Myles Turner signing, and neither guy likes it. Giannis is leaving and going to Houston. He's on the way. But take a look at the top remaining free agents out there. Of course, Myles putting pen to paper. We'll see how the fans in Cream City like it. But other big names we'll see on the move. Jonathan Kuminga, possibly restricted free agent. DeAndre Ayton, maybe the biggest name when it comes to bigs out there now with Turner off the board. But so many names looking for new places. The conversation continues after a commercial break at noon Eastern right here in HQ. More of Myles Turner getting pen to paper, but maybe Giannis not too happy.